Thanks to TwitchCon, our ever-growing collection of stuff in the background of my stream is growing, including we got this guy. Whoa. It's a basketball on a basketball. Have you ever seen such a thing? Yeah, San Diego was fun. Where do we start with TwitchCon? All I can think after going to TwitchCon and after going to DreamHack is I really wish Evo was in San Diego instead of Vegas. There's like this big convention center and the stuff to do around it is so much better than Vegas, man. Vegas sucks. Yeah, I went to the zoo. We had 3 hours on Thursday to do a tour of the zoo, essentially. And we speed ran and we saw everything. We saw lions and leopards and pandas, condors and gorillas and little baby hippos. We saw capybaras. I tweeted a picture of the capybaras and I tagged Broski. The San Diego Zoo is like one of the largest zoos in the world. Maybe it's the largest zoo in the world. They have tons of like preservation efforts. It's a cool place. If you're ever in San Diego, I would check it out. They do a lot. It was a blasty blast. Then this stage and situation up there was pretty nice. The lineup, from my understanding, for TwitchCon was like Hassan's Debate Lords, Fortnite, Minecraft, and then us. So really, I stand out. Those things are definitely not in the same like wheelhouse as the Sajam Street Fighter Slam. The things that they had on Sunday were like IRL streamer Twitch rivals playing basketball, or you know, they did tug of war one year, or like racing or whatever it is, right? I realized a couple of things about going to TwitchCon. One, boy, I don't know what I would do there if I wasn't doing the slam. My community has TwitchCon already. We have Combo Breaker and CEO and Evo and events all over the world for our community to gather. TwitchCon is for like communities where you don't have an Evo to go hang out at and like see your friends and meet people in person. Twitch obviously knows that fighting game players don't really have a reason to want to go to something like TwitchCon. So how do we justify a reason for fighting game people to show up to TwitchCon? That was part of what doing the slam was about, and I think it was a good time because of it. Yeah, Shine, I don't know either. I don't know what I would have done if I wasn't slamming. I mean, we basically weren't in the venue outside of the slam. We hung out in San Diego in downtown and like went and got food and like went to the zoo and we went bowling and we just like went to like the round one arcade. We went to like a bunch of mixers and stuff. Oh, Boot is scratching back there. What up, Boot? We went to Tacos El Gordo, of course. We did like a nice little brunch spot, fancy work dinners, the late night, hit the midnight taco vibe. Like we did all that. The thing that's funny about the show, Twitch Rivals and us, they're busy, right? And we didn't bother them with too much of the nitty gritty of like the show. And basically, I don't think they knew exactly how the show was gonna go. They didn't know what to expect from all of us. And when me and Steven Yipes sat down to do the rehearsal, they basically were like, okay, what you guys are doing, do that. And we're not gonna worry about anything related to your show anymore. Like the show flow or like structure, anything related to the show. They heard me and Steven Yipes just like start our rehearsal and they basically were like, we don't have to even think about you guys anymore because you guys are professional and like you guys got this. Because I don't, you know, obviously fighting games are not their specialty, but they're a production show that have done this kind of stuff before, and we're just like chilling. They were like, all right, cool, we don't gotta worry about this, we don't gotta stress about these people, they know what they're doing. The way the show worked is basically it was me, Steven Yipes, chilling, and then Wavepunk did all of the like work. Like he did, this is the State Farm such and such, or this is the what, you know, whatever it is, right? Like they just structured the show in that way. That's basically all he had to do. So we made his job easy. I think we made Twitch Rivals' job easy. And then same thing with Capcom. Capcom was like, man, you guys are professionals. It was good vibes. Although it's funny, I don't know, you guys probably couldn't tell. When we started to do Beta Pro, my pack died. Like it just went, what I mean by my pack is I have like a pack that's clipped to my waist that controls me being able to hear myself in my ear and my producer in my ear and Yipes and Steve. My microphone works. But I stood up and my pack just went, it like exploded. And I had nothing in my ear. So I was like, all right, let's walk over here. Hey, who are you? What's going on here? And then like, I did that whole thing with no, like I didn't have anybody. You know, this is just an audio issue. And like, I don't think they realized until later. I didn't want to be like, yeah, it's been gone for like 10 minutes. But I was like, yeah, it's gone. Like you can fix it real quick. Like, it's just really funny because I don't think anybody even knew that I didn't have contact with them. They probably just assumed everything was normal because I just went out there and did my job. We were amongst a very busy weekend for Rivals for sure, right? Setting up like 40 setups for Minecraft and 40 setups for Fortnite or whatever, and then like doing a live. I imagine the debate show is actually probably not too bad. I think the IRL stuff's probably not too bad either, but I don't think anybody was too worried about our show in comparison, which leads me to our next topic, which is the setup situation. There's a problem just overall. We're doing the Sajam Slam online into qualifiers offline, and so there was a lot of stuff to organize. We were like really focused on getting all the human beings there, getting everybody taken care of and accommodated and into San Diego, making sure the team swaps like made sense and everybody knew what was happening and knew what was going on, and that the show format and flow was the same, and like me and Steven Yipes were going to be hosting the show, and we were going to be stuck with like some people who don't know anything about fighting games doing stuff. There was a lot of concerns like that, and like once we got format and everything worked out and got all the human beings in the building and everything was good, we were like, all right, cool, we've covered all of our important boxes, nice. Which is why the TV situation slipped through the cracks, and then we're sitting there staring at this like, oh no. And I feel really bad about the TV thing happening. This like starts from the top, where I really wish that the players had a place to play the whole weekend, and it would have been really nice if the following was the case, and it has to be the case I think next time, which is like they need a place to go play backstage. This place needs to be the same as the stage setup. Every other game, like the other games they did, the Fortnite and Minecraft stuff, they were in like the pods. So everybody had this pod. This is Fumi, Threatening, JB. But these are the pods. This is what they played on and looked like for everything else. So you could stream on these. So unifying this and then like the setup backstage and then the setup on the stage is something that I think is like super important, so that everybody can just play on the same thing and like feel good about their experience. But I definitely feel the most bad for the first 2 matches where it was like really bad, which was SK and Saikuno, which I already talked to both of them about. Dude, have you guys seen what Saikuno's up to? This guy Saikuno was mad after it was over, and he went to the Capcom booth and just started beating up random people who were in line to play Terry. He just went over there and picked Cammy and Modern Zangief and just started bullying people on the show floor. He said he picked Modern Geef against someone and they left. Somebody asked them like, bro, do you play this game? And he was like, for like a week or 2, something like that. Like, I've been dabbling a little bit, you know, which is technically true, but that is messed up because it's also not true, because he was training for an event. That it's like accurate, but like you didn't have to do him like that. Obviously him and SK I felt the worst for, because they lost in the first 2 matches where it mattered. So yeah, I apologized to them and talked to them a little bit about it. And both of them were basically like, you need to run another slam right now. They were like, run another slam right now. I need to destroy someone. Put me back in and I'm going to win the tournament. It's over for everybody. But there's a lot of stuff to figure out and organize. I mean, we knew that doing something offline like this was going to be a big ask. There's a lot of things about it that were really, really cool, and I'm super happy we did it. And there's a lot of things that I thought before the event started that I think are justified, and like I'm like, yep, I think we were right, and it probably would have been better this way. And there's a lot of things that I didn't think about that also I think would be better. We made it happen. The crowd was awesome, and I think everybody had a lot of fun watching offline, and then I think everybody had a lot of fun playing Street Fighter, which when we first did the slam, a lot of people were like, this event's gonna suck, no one's gonna care about fighting games, etc. Then the second slam was like really awesome, people liked it. So then it was, well, I don't know if the first slam is gonna like be as good as the second slam. And then the second slam was fucking awesome. So then we did Street Fighter this time, and it was like, well, the first couple slams were cool, but like I don't know if it's gonna translate over to Street Fighter, right? And I think like obviously people were really excited and like Street Fighter. They were malding a lot, and I think the malding was because they were so addicted and they just kept playing it. They like couldn't, they were like putting in too much time. Yeah, I think a lot of people had fun playing it. When we did them online, a lot of people were saying, I hope that at some point you could do it offline. And we did one offline, and everybody's like, I hope they were all online. We'll do both. I think like there's lots of room for us to do the format we just did and like send people to stuff. Like I'm sure next year we'll have a slam, and then the winning team will get a trip to Evo, and it'll be similar to like the vibes we had in first couple of slams, right? And I'm sure we'll have something where it's like an offline format like this again, and we'll figure out a way to do it and make sure that we don't have some of the problems we had this time. And then also a lot of the good stuff we had this time, make sure to keep that and make sure that people like it and it's fun, you know? Like the slam itself is an idea that I pitched like over 2 years ago or something to Twitch Rivals and lots of other people, and was told no. You know, it's one of those things that you just kind of have to do it as like a proof of concept. And then once people realize it's cool, then like they want to get involved and do it, and it's going to be better. And then that gives you more proof and power to make sure that other things are even better the next time. So I think everybody had a lot of fun with this, and I think Twitch and Capcom had a lot of fun, and they basically are like, how do we do stuff like this more often? This is really cool. So that feeling, I think, from everybody involved is great. That's another thing about TwitchCon that I realized. I get recognized a lot at fighting game tournaments. In fact, at EVO, it probably takes me like an hour or more to walk across the hall. I just start a sentence and then someone takes a picture, then I take a picture, then I sign this, then I take a picture, then I start the sentence and I take a picture. I once was talking to Peppery Splash and I didn't finish a paragraph for like actually like 30 minutes, and he's like, bro, we have been unable to finish this talking point for the whole time. Like, it's over. At TwitchCon, I got stopped like once every 5 minutes or something. Like, it was not to the same level as a fighting game event at all. Like, I was not swarmed. It was like way less people. But one thing that is interesting about that is at TwitchCon, if you're like a partner, you're like, oh, you're a partner, you have access to all these things that you can do at TwitchCon, right? So like, if you're like not a partner, you can't get into the partner lounge or the partner parties or like there's like stuff that's related to that, right? There's an executive privilege above partner. And I realized that I have this privilege, and I had to swing this privilege around like a hammer to get all the fighting game people hooked up. That's what I did it for. I just like smuggled all the fighting game players around into everything to get them all the free social connections, food and alcohol all weekend. We went to parties. I didn't sign up, and I was like, hello, I'm here with 9 people. I need to get in. And that's like what we did. And like, that was basically the weekend. I was like, I don't have a ticket, and neither do these 9 people. What's up? And it worked, which is like a sign of the ability sometimes. That's the power of the Chipotle Zaibatsu. Yeah. Was there free coffee? There was, if you were like super extra esports, which I was. They had a person whose job it was to make espresso at a bar and also cold brew on tap. So yeah, it was good times. So I think everybody had fun, and there's lots of cool things and ideas that I have for future slams and things like this. I mean, it probably doesn't surprise you guys, but like, we had conversations about this slam like before the first slam even started, and like I've already had meetings about Slam 4 before this slam was like started, and then like in the middle of it, like we have a lot of ideas about doing cool stuff. The proof of concept is solid, and the more people I can get to check out fighting games, the better. I almost was gonna make fun of somebody on Twitter. If you are watching the slam at all, if you're even paying a slight bit of attention, saying like, oh, the people who play in the slam won't stick around and try fighting games is like the most, like, it's the opposite. They all are just playing fighting games. It's like the most misled understanding of the situation. Yeah, I mean, especially Lily's winning interview was fighting games are fun. You should play fighting games. Like, I don't know. Thoughts on Nephew's winning interview? You know, he never stops yapping. We were in public. We'd been hanging out with Nephew for like 3 hours, and I hadn't heard him speak yet. And I just turned to him and I was like, why are you so fucking loud, man? You're just going to get us kicked out of everything. And he thought that was real fun. The level of volume, like, I can't take you anywhere. Like, you're just going to get us kicked out of everything.